Hello everyone, this is Yonax here and welcome back to a new episode of Stanley Parable. What I want to try today is to try out some more endings, because I know there are more possible ways we could have gone, and I'm gonna try to figure out some and see where it lands us to.
But Stanley simply couldn't handle the pressure. What if he had to make a decision? What if a crucial outcome fell under his responsibility? He had never been trained for that. No. This couldn't go any way except badly. The thing to do now, Stanley thought to himself, is to wait. Nothing will hurt me. Nothing will break me. In here I can be happy forever. I will be happy. Stanley waited. Hours passed, then days. Had years gone by? He no longer had the ability to tell. But the one thing he knew for sure, beyond any doubt, was that if he waited long enough, the answers would come. Eventually, someday, they would arrive. Soon, very soon now, this will end. He will be spoken to. He will be told what to do. Now it's just a little bit closer. Now it's even closer. Here it comes.
And here it comes. We are loading. So that was a different ending. Well, different ending. It's not in it. All papers on the ground. It's a mess.
Already this was uncomfortable, and Stanley decided that as soon as he found a new space he felt safe in, that he would never leave it again in his life.
It's a big mess.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Yeah. Door on our
This
right.
was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Wow. Yes. This room. What a beautiful room.
Beautiful
What a gorgeous,
indeed.
gorgeous room. Thank goodness, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
We already took that in the past. We're now gonna take this one.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I
We're
think
moving.
perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
I agree. I very much agree. So that was one ending. So if you waited there longer, we get more papers.
Someone was following Stanley. He was sure of it. If he checked over his shoulder now, he would surely catch them. It was only a matter of time.
I don't see someone behind me. So we're starting to learn the way.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Door on the right.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. The lounge was sublime, a work of art. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Yeah. We're going back here.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look,
What?
Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on
What
the
I
wrong
want to
foot
try
here.
is now to
I'm not your
get
enemy, enemy, really.
on this stairway.
I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, but in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
Okay, that was a failure because we already just did that one. But I wanted to come on the stairways. So let's see if we can hit it now.
A soft wind blew outside and perhaps rain started, and if it did, it stopped shortly after. Stanley hoped that he would one day see weather.
At least he is changing his text, huh? The narrator.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Left, okay.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Let's go through this one again.
Stanley for the first, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Yeah, left. So that should be here.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look,
Let's
Stanley,
see if we
I think
can hit
perhaps
the
we've gotten
staircase.
off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why?
Yeah, I am.
to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something
Sure.
Let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance.
How many chances? I only give you 1 chance.
Now listen carefully, this is important.
Okay.
Stanley walked through the red door.
Red door, yeah.
Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door.
Yeah, I got it clearly. Red door.
I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through the red door.
Well, that door is obviously not red. Is there still a door here? No. Oh, wait, there's the red door.
All right, fine, go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you. You see? There's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map because you were never supposed to be here in the first place.
What?
Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you? Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing. Because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees? Work with me. You give me absolutely nothing.
Yeah, that would be lovely. Skill trees.
Tell you what.
Vehicles.
Take a stab in the dark at a
Mouse.
new design and you can give me some feedback. There we go. A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin. Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback
I
here.
give you a 5 on that one.
You see, I knew I was onto something. Where do these flashes of inspiration come from? How did I know the game needed a third door? Well, it's instinct mostly, a calling in your gut. I really couldn't say where the idea came from, except that I felt it in my soul. You can't
Fingerspitzengefühl?
Don't even try. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look.
Leaderboard. It's quite some doors that are opened and attempted. What's my rank? Really? I'm that last? Yeah, we need help. What? We don't have friends? Where is everyone? Not that red? Seriously? I'm disappointed. Let's take the orange door again.
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please.
Yeah, very honest.
Hey, I nearly
Doesn't
forgot I've got a
motivate me.
prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a
Prototype?
lovely opportunity to give it some playtesting. You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you?
No, I
Perfect.
wouldn't.
Let me boot it up.
New game! Or are we starting over again? Let's see.
In this game, the baby crawls left towards danger.
Poor
You
baby.
click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the
I think
desperation and
it's
tedium of
a
endlessly
horrible game.
confronting the demands of family life. I think the art world will really take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So why
4
don't you
hours?
give it 4
That's
hours
fine.
of play to make sure it's effective? Be sure to keep notes on your experience.
No, go back. What you doing? Go back. Go back. Go back. Go back. Baby doesn't listen very well, does he? I said go back. Stay there, in the corner, in the corner. In the corner, I said. This baby doesn't listen very well, huh? 4 hours later. Fine, if you want it that badly. No, 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 don't. Don't go in the fire. Don't. I can't stop you anymore.
You heartless.
Oh, that wasn't a real baby.
Do it because
This
you
is
hate
just a
babies
piece of
or
wood.
purely to spite me. Because if it's the latter, well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try. I'm out. I'm out. I'm done. It's over. Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable.
You're
Okay,
welcome.
since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game? Just to ease the pain. Let's see.
Sounds
What do we
good.
have here? Yes, this seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot.
New game! Hopefully it's not so terrible as the baby game. Because trying to save it for 4 hours didn't work. Minecraft!
Well, Stanley, is this any better? At last, the one thing you've always desired. A game I had absolutely nothing to do with. But is it enough? Tell me that, Stanley. Will it ever be enough?
Yeah,
I'll
who
say
knows?
I'm done making things for you. From now on,
Done?
I will only create to fulfill a greater artistic purpose. Watch this, Stanley. I'm
Artistic
going
purpose.
to build a house. This will go.
He's
here.
building a house.
No, here, and then.
Why not here, our piece as well?
Let's see, what does it need? Yes, of course. And just to finish it all off, yes, it's
Marvelous.
complete. I made this, Stanley. Look at it. Gaze upon my work of art and feel ashamed at your own inadequacy. But you've only seen it from the outside. You've only gotten half the experience. Please, step inside and
Okay.
make yourself comfortable.
Let's take a
Isn't
look
it
inside.
grand? Isn't it perfect? It could only be better if... Wait, that's it. We must rebuild it out of diamond.
Yeah,
Diamond
great idea.
everything. Yes, yes, yes. Come along, Stanley. We have to go mining.
Mining! We need to get diamonds. Oh, the door closed. Can you still open it? No. Let's go mining. Can we jump now? We're almost in a free world. Almost. Ooh, dungeon. I guess we can mine
It looks
here.
like it's going to get a bit dark. Have you brought
Yeah.
a light?
No, I didn't bring a light. Did you? I thought you would bring it.
Oh, no, 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 no. This is far more open-ended than I had in mind. I'm
What?
looking for something more narrow and linear. Something that makes you feel utterly irrelevant. This won't do at all. 1 out of 5. Even the diamonds couldn't save this one. Okay, new game.
New game! But I wanted the diamond house. No diamond house for us, unfortunately. This is a sad moment. A very sad moment.
Yes! I don't even know what this game is, but I love it. You, trapped in a glass box with no way out, listening to me talk. Oh, it's inspired. I couldn't have done it any better myself. What is this game even supposed to be? I can't figure it out. Okay.
Seems like a portal to me.
Let's go find out what the hell this is.
Yeah, definitely. This is portal. Aperture laboratories. Do we need to do all the test labs again? Seems like it. Huh? Exciting game. Let's go play Portal, huh?
Oh, it's a
Ooh,
puzzle.
let's go through.
Critical thinking,
Oh.
Stanley. Your forte. Genius.
I know, right?
No, actually, you know what? I think that's plenty. I really
What?
don't care much to see you stumble through any more of these games, and I highly doubt you're any wiser for the experience. Which is why, rather than continue to waste my time, I'm just going to leave you here. You can pretend you've beaten the game if it makes it any richer for you.
I already
As for
won
me,
it.
I've had enough.
Games ago.
So, why don't you get cozy in this room, and if you have any grand revolutionary ideas
shoot
for the
portals?
perfect video
Nope.
game, you can just sit there and let it ball up inside you for all eternity. I don't need your advice. I don't need your ratings. And I certainly don't need
sure?
the validation of a man whose job is to push buttons. I
What's
think
wrong?
I'll
I'm pushing
just go about my
buttons.
business,
I'm
making
pushing
meaningful cultural contributions
keyboard
to the
buttons
world.
at the moment.
And perhaps every now and then, I'll think back to a man named Stanley who was objectively wrong in every decision he ever made. The thought won't last long. Goodbye, Stanley. Good luck
Goodbye.
with your work. And I sincerely hope that everyone lives happily ever after.
Oh, he finally shut up. Man, he talks a lot by times. So, can we shoot portals? Can we go through here? No. Can we jump up? No, we jump down. Oh, what do we have here? This is like alpha test, beta, official space C, alternate iteration. Yeah, that sounds like Portal. Work in progress. Stanley Parable alpha test. Please rate your experience. The Stanley Parable alpha test. Where can we go? Ah, there's a door here. Yeah, let's take the door. What? Where are we going now? We're back? But it's dark? What's here? Hey. The 2 rooms. Let's head back to our office then. See if, because here is light. Far to our office, huh? Totally different design as before. Modern design. Let's click some buttons. Seems we can't do anything here. Let's go back. Oh, what happened here?
I wonder what he found. If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it.
Good.
Down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice. And if
Very
he's
happy.
learned the heavy cost that comes with it. He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me. Someone who will wrap everything up at the end, to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world. Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back. The end will be here soon. Very soon. I can wait.
Okay, I can wait too. What's going on? Oh, new loading. Yep. Do we need to restart our game again? Seems like it. Yeah, the end is never the end is never the end. The end is loading. And the end is never. We are indeed back in our office.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Changed for sure.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Yeah, left.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Stanley felt lightheaded, butterflies in his stomach, giddy in a way he had never known before. Was it this room?
Yes.
A connection between the two? But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Totally.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Can't we
Look,
do
Stanley,
something
I think
down there?
perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not.
See, that's
I
the door
realize that
there.
investing your trust in someone else can be difficult,
We
but
just
the fact
can't
is that the
invent
story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley.
Neglecting?
Someone
No.
you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her. This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself, to put your work aside, to let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
Who is he talking about? Oh, it's a bit dark here.
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this, to reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another.
Let's pick up the phone. Did we talk with someone?
Oh, Stanley, is that you?
Yes.
Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
Gotcha.
What?
Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife? Who
Yes.
would commit their life to you? I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here.
I have a nice bench here.
This is a very sad story
Nice
about the
TV.
death of a man named Stanley.
8 on your keyboard? No. Okay, fine.
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence.
Fine.
Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to
This
do.
looks like our
Now
desk
he's
again.
pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life. But in his mind, in his mind he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his
Yes.
desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful, and each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him.
Ooh, what's
And so he
that?
began to fantasize about his own job. First, he imagined that one day
Where's
while
the
at work,
TV?
he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly.
Yeah.
So he went further. He imagined that he came to 2 open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold.
Let's eat
As he
something.
wandered through this
Oh.
fantasy world, he
What's
began to fill
happened?
it with many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable. It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time. But there is no answer. How could
No
there
answer?
possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets, the more he forgets which life is the real one. And
Let's
I'm
take
trying
a
to
nap.
tell him this, that in this world he can never be anything but an observer, that as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it.
Okay. Let's not press the button. No, but wait, then we are agreeing with him.
You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself? I suppose I can't, not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again.
What?
And Stanley pushed a button. And I tried again. And Stanley pushed a button. And I...
Did he try to kill us again? He's so evil. And we're back in our office. So, thank you all for watching again, and I hope to see you in the next Stanley Parable, because I'm sure there are more endings. than just the few we had so far. We're gonna try them all, I hope, or we're gonna try at least. Thank you all for watching, and goodbye.